I like how the poem just starts off with suddenly he awoke and he was running. It just gives it like a sense of realization of that once he wakes up in this war zone, he he has to start running for his life, and it just gives a more like insight on how the war really was. That you could once you woke up, you had to start fighting for your life.
I agree. Like it makes it seem as if as soon as he wakes up, the war's just never ending. Like it's continuous.
Yeah, I understand that as well because it's like at the end, because it just finishes. It's like it doesn't. It like builds up to all this kind of. It keeps building up, but then suddenly it just stops, and it makes you want to read on and like carry on because you want to know, and it keeps you wondering what's actually going to happen.
To add to that, it's really like descriptive, but also like very fast beat. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like, I see what you mean, Nicholas, where it says it starts off all sudden and then it gets exactly where it started off. How at the beginning he's so prepared that he's not sleeping properly, and then he's just ready to get to war. But at the end, he just comes back to the same point where it kind of all ends again.
I like the way that it says that dazzled with rifle fire, that it emphasizes the sound. Well, yeah, it emphasizes the sound of like how loud it was in the war zone, and later on he says how the bullets were smacking the belly out of the air. And what I think that means is like how fast the bullets were, that it would like break the sound barrier.
But it's also really weird how like he says dazzled, which you normally think is a good word. Like when you think of it, you think of like shiny kind of pretty
Fireworks,
things,
yeah.
and not like kind of like
It's killing people. Like,
It makes me wonder, and I keep coming back and puzzling over what actually happened at the end. Like, I don't really understand the blue crackling air and what that could mean.
oh, what, like this?
Yeah, because like right at the
Yeah.
end, it's like
Oh.
you expect it all to be kind of dark and like dingy and not like you think of blue as like the sky is blue and it's like really like bright, but it's the difference. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, like, yeah, I see what I mean. I really like how it says in like line 20, like king, honor, human dignity, etc. It's like it's kind of installed, I guess, into this soldier's mind how there's so many things he's doing, but it's just this never ending. Like the things he's fighting his country for.
Kind of spreads the words out as well.
Yeah.
Like it's king, then honor, then human dignity.
There's no time to think about it.
And they're all just suddenly like gone in that
Yeah.
moment.
The way he says dropped like luxury is saying that how humans are like really important, and like it's there. If one person dies, they're losing a lot.
Yeah, so like there's more to them than just a soldier out to kill. Like they are human.
Anybody else talk about any interesting words or phrases that kind of stand out to you, and
Cold clockwork.
why does that jump out at you, Nick?
Because when you think about a clockwork, it's more like the time, and the way he describes it as cold, it just stands out to me.
Is it strange?
Yeah, you don't really see it in a sentence together usually.
Especially about war. And then clockwork is
The
boring.
word cold doesn't match clockwork, yeah.
And it's like just the repetitive motion of like a clock just goes round and round, like it's the same, and like they do it every day, and it almost doesn't stop. Like, because like time carries on. I also like the phrase "threw up like a yellow hair that rolled like a flame," because it's really interesting because well, first of all you don't really have threw up and a yellow hair the same kind of thing, but it shows how it's just kind of it suddenly happens, and like it kind of like it's something throwing up isn't a very nice thing to think about.
Yeah, not pleasant.
It's just a very detailed description about it.
Why are you interpreting that as throwing up, as in sickness?
Because, like,
Does it have to mean that?
I interpreted it in a different way. I thought it meant like a flare going, like a yellow flare going up and rolling across the floor and then like setting
Yeah.
off.